Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to a live stream / recording of Hearthstone. Today is Tuesday, May the 23rd. We are getting near the end. Loki is chatting online. He's asking if this is a commercial and question mark. Yeah, when I break on the live streams and end the recording, I hit the commercial button because that's right in line with what I am trying to do. I want ads to make a little bit of money on my channel, and I put ads at the beginning, which is, I think, fair enough. Ads at the beginning, no ads at the end, no ads in the middle of what would be a normal recording. So if you watch any of my other pre-recorded things, you probably will either see an ad at the beginning or you'll see ads on the web page. And if you skip those, then I don't get credit for it, and the advertiser gets free exposure, which kind of sucks. But also, if you skip them or use an ad blocker, then that means you don't want to support me that much, or you just hate ads that much, and I can't really blame you for that, because I kind of hate ads too, and I end up personally skipping a lot of people that I'd prefer to support. I skip a lot of their ads because the ads are very repetitive. Let's get into playing. I need to play 20 beasts, so we'll play my beast deck. And we can continue to just play ranked here to try to get victories. I have seen, since the YouTube adpocalypse thing became a thing, that some channels have gone crazy with putting ads in between it. There's a Minecraft streamer called Craner, and he literally starts every single video with a 2+ minutes of him begging people to like, subscribe, share. He usually spends another couple minutes in his stream asking people to comment something crazy just to get comments and trick people into adding comments. And after his 2 minutes and probably closer to 3 minutes of intro, he immediately has it scheduled to put another ad. So there's an ad at the beginning. He goes through what is effectively 2 minutes plus of ads for his own channel, and then he plays another YouTube ad. And then you get about 10 minutes of content that you can watch, and then there's another ad. And then you get about another 10 minutes of content, and then there's another ad. And then there's an ad at the end. And it's just like way too many ads. Way too many ads. And when I see that personally, I have no problem skipping the ads. I'd rather give free exposure to the ad companies than give money to somebody who's just trying to milk people for every dime they can get. That being said, if something changed really crazily for me and I actually needed to live off the income that this channel makes, which it only makes about $1 a week right now, I might have to sell out. I might have to have ads at the beginning, at the end. I would try to be as gentle about that as possible. I wouldn't want to go much more than beginning, middle, and end. A lot of my content is hour long, so if I put one at the beginning and the end and in the middle, you'd still only be seeing 3 ads in an hour, which is far less than what you'd see on TV, but that's hardly the scale I'd want to hold myself up to. Because that's a very low level of quality. And frankly, I feel like, and the numbers clearly show this, you lose about 1/3 of your audience for every ad you play anyways. People just get bored and leave. So, I'm trying to get this guy more powered up. Here. Let's see. I haven't seen Loki comment anything, so I'm still very iffy about whether the chat is still working. Let's go on with the news. Battlefield 1 has announced its first female multiplayer soldier, and in the expansion called In the Name of the Tsar. Apparently this is historically accurate. There were some German battalions of females in, not German, sorry, Russian battalions of females. So that's cool and all, but I don't, does Battlefield 1 not have any solo player expansions? Is that the issue? Because this feels like they've put a female character in the one place where it could get used the least, or has the least impact on other things. Because I think it would be much more impactful if they said Battlefield 1's main story allowed you to play as a female or had a female soldier you were fighting with. Maybe these all get down to the point of being inaccurate historically, which is true, but isn't there a healer class in Battlefield 1? Because those nurses did exist back then. I would also say that the character who they show a screenshot of doesn't really have very feminine features. Her head is shaved and all of that, so it just looks like a different skinning of something else. This is funny. I just switched to the YouTube chat app, and it's just one by one retrieving all of the messages that it hadn't gotten up to that point. I should have played this. Let's play this and kill that. So Wargaming created and then did its best to uncreate a controversy, thanks to Jim Sterling. And I guess at this point, Jim Sterling is providing, as much as I think he's a drama queen and he's getting a lot of views for creating controversies sometimes. I mean, this controversy came to him and it didn't involve him directly. So he's actually reporting like an actual reporter instead of creating the news like he often does. He found that a completely unrelated YouTuber had been critical of Wargaming's newest tanks. Wargaming makes the game World of Tanks, which is apparently very popular. And then instead of just ignoring that this YouTuber had been critical of them, Wargaming Europe spoke out of line and threatened to content ID him, and claimed at one point that his video had harmful speech and homophobic slurs and such, and none of it's true. They came back and doubled down on it. At some point, the main company of Wargaming came back and doubled down and tried to support Wargaming EU, and then they finally just did a complete 180 and said that they will not be taking any content ID action. And so, as a poop stirrer that Jim Sterling is, he has actually done I think the video game culture a good thing here, because he has now created this precedent where if any video game company tries to censor any critic of them, they are going to get so much bad exposure for it that they should think not. And the weird thing too about this is wargaming's not like digital homicide. It's not just a couple of people who are possibly crazy that are putting up games on Steam Greenlight. Wargaming has a proven record of actually running a business and should know better. That being said, I've heard a lot of businesses that look like they are successful on the outside, but they're being run completely incompetently and unprofessionally on the inside, so I think that may very well be the case there. Squad, the company that owns Kerbal Space Program, I won't even now call it the company that made Kerbal Space Program, because they fired / separated. I don't know if they really fired, but I think they did fire some of the developers that actually made that game. And then those developers, or some of those developers, have now been hired by Valve. And so then Squad comes out after that news came out and says, we're still independent and working hard, which is laughable because it's just not the truth. I don't think there are very many programmers or developers in that company, and if they are, they certainly aren't the people that made Kerbal Space Program. And clearly, if you look recently, since around the 1.0 version of Kerbal Space Program and it getting on consoles, there's been no news about it. There's been no real updates or patches or improvements, and that game needed a lot of work. It was not finished. It was not anywhere close to being 1.0, because when you go to 1.0, that means all your features are done and everything works and everything's exactly how you want it to be until you start adding more features at 1.1 or 2.0. And that's just not the case. That's simply just not how I would describe Kerbal Space Program. Let's move on. The Supreme Court is now forcing patent trolls to sue in the area where the company is incorporated. This is a great new decision that was unanimous by the Supreme Court. It is a corporate decision. It is clearly pro real businesses versus pro fake businesses and patent trolls, non-acting entities. So, for instance, say I've been playing the King's Quest remake. Sierra is a company that went out of business and all their licenses got bought by Activision. Let's say that King's Quest instead was bought by a patent troll instead of Activision, which the Activision hasn't done too much with the King's Quest series, but they did allow the remake to be made. And I think they may at some point decide to make a few more things. So let's say a patent troll owned King's Quest, and then they went around trying to sue Burger King because they own the phrase King, and they say Burger King is too close to King's Quest, which would be a ridiculous lawsuit, but that's pretty much how this stuff goes. And mostly it's in an attempt, they'll send out letters saying you have to pay us a license for this much money or we'll sue you, and a lot of people just get scared and pay the license because it's not worth the time or energy to actually go to court over things like this. So say somebody, Burger King in this example, didn't want to pay the license because it's a BS lawsuit, patent infringement lawsuit. Well, then what used to happen is, more often than not, there was a specific county in Texas that really didn't know what they were what was going on, and it became really, really friendly for patent trolls to sue there. You would get a much higher success ratio as a patent troll if you brought your case in that county in court and things. I don't know if it's because that county in Texas just hates big business inherently, or was easily manipulated, and maybe there was very few people in the county. But just statistically speaking, this county in Texas was the place where patent trolls would sue. And this is basically judge shopping, and it certainly happens a lot. That's where what Trump is upset with is that the 9th district courts in federal courts that cover California have a tendency to side against him, and so he's not happy when any of his executive orders get challenged in that district, because he knows he's probably not going to win as easily as he would if it was in a more conservative judicial court district. So that, however, that has to do with executive branch law and federal law, not patent law. So this Supreme Court decision probably won't affect Trump, but it will certainly affect video games now, because if somebody wants to sue, say, well, Microsoft, I guess, for infringing on a patent, those lawsuits now are going to have to take place where Microsoft is incorporated, which I suspect would be Richmond, Washington, because that's where their main offices are, and therefore there's going to be a higher likelihood that Microsoft will win. Now, this also favors Microsoft a lot, because Microsoft pays a lot of taxes to the county and the city and the state of Washington, Richmond, Washington, then people are going to be more likely to just favor Microsoft, particularly if they have friends and family that are working there. So there really wasn't the best solution for that problem and that decision. It mostly comes down to
safety restrictions
the fact that we probably need more patent reform in general, instead of anything else. I'm looking at my chat right now, and I'm just going to say it out loud in case people are trying to chat. The last thing that I have, I just reloaded it, is from Loki that says commercial ? So let me toggle timestamps so I can see that, which was 5:31, and it's now 5:50 according to my time. So either the chat has given up and I'll check it in between games on my PC versus my phone, or people are just not chatting. Either one is very possible. Asus has this new Zen screen that's a USB monitor. I saw it. It looked kind of cool, but I'm afraid it's probably going to be extremely, extremely expensive when I get around to it. Looking at the prices. Oh, finally got a new chat. So. Loki came on and want me to make a deck of legends to play on stream. if you want to do that at the end, we'll do that. I have no problem playing you for a while at the end of the stream. I just gotta make sure everything is done as far as the daily quests. They're #1 priority, so I still need to do that. And like, I'm trying to get all the news done and everything in the recordings, and then live streaming can be a little bit more laid back and a little bit more just conversational. And I still haven't fully, I guess I still am playing beast cards. I didn't get that many beast cards played. Still trying to figure out what my recording should be, or if I should even put out recordings of the live streams, because I'm just doubling up on content there. Like, maybe the chat conversations, if they were consistently let's see. Loki says, I'm in the mood to play silly decks, but the meta's dull.
Let the hunt begin.
Well, as soon as the update comes and I can play people and get the daily quests, then this is out the window and live streams will change. I'll just play people that want to play me non-stop. It's just gonna be probably a month, maybe 2, until they put out that next update. And once that new update happens, everything changes. It's gonna be a lot better. In fact, this next update is potentially the best improvement Hearthstone's gonna have in a long, long time. Moving on with news, Rocket League is going to retire some of its old crates for newer crates. I'm not sure what you get in the crates though. Like, is it skins for the game, or is it upgrades for abilities like Mario Kart? So yeah, I haven't gotten into Rocket League yet, so I just don't know what that means. I should have done a little bit more research probably. Let's see.
What? They fell on
the creators of the Darkness 2 and Warframe have announced a free-to-play first-person shooter called Keystone that's, I suppose, going to compete against Overwatch. I don't know what they're doing here. I just saw a setup for what happens in the Darkness and the Darkness 2, and now that I know what that story is and that it ends on kind of a cliffhanger, I would really like to play have them create the Darkness 3, but that's clearly not what they're doing if they're making Warframe and now this free-to-play first-person shooter, which we already had Battleborn fail that way. I think nowadays people, we may see a few more companies push out. Do you have enough legendaries for a full deck? I don't. Loki's asking me that. I probably do, but I can't make a legendary deck yet. That's another thing there. If I throw out any of my decks that are already built, I would have to then rebuild it from setup, and it's just too much work to do that. So if you want to build a deck full of legendaries, I'll play and let you show it off, Loki, but I'm just gonna play one of my decks that I've already built. Now, that's another thing in the update, is they're going to have copy and paste ability on decks. So I can just open up Notepad. We've got a new guy online called Humanfly. Interesting name. It says, hey man. Hey Humanfly. I always think I should probably just say hello. But at the very beginning of the chat, hopefully people will read. And as my channel grows and more people or online, there's going to be a deluge of people just saying hello. So I'll say hey back in the chat, and that's it. Like, write down the list. Hello, human, says Loki. I've got it in the Hearthstone deck tracker. That's not the issue. The issue is the 20 extra minutes it would take me to put it back in. I might be able to find something there, since this is probably going to be one of the last times I ever have to do this anyways, with the new copy and paste things. So now that I've finished doing King's Quest Remastered, which is a remake, King's Quest 2015 is what it's just called, that has turned into that I'm putting that in my usually Lego kids friendly slot, so that puts me back to playing the DLC for Borderlands 1 next, and then I need to do the DLC, or I'll probably do some, if not all, of that DLC, and then I need to do the DLC for BioShock Infinite Burial C, and then I'll eventually, after I've done all of that, I'll eventually be to the point where I can play some new AAA games, maybe get to Bayonetta. Human Fly says sub swap, yay for stuff. Just play your slowest deck. Yeah. Okay, I can do that. That's a lot easier. Sub swap, Human Fly. There's literally no reason for a YouTuber to ask another YouTuber to sub. I don't know why people do this. I guess they just don't think things through. A YouTuber that makes content, for me in particular, I have like 5 or 6 videos that go out every Monday through Friday. I never have time to watch other people's YouTube videos, and except for the ones I actually want to watch, which is very, very few. So why do you want to get that one subscriber that will never watch your videos? You don't want that. You want people who are just viewers, people that don't spend 8 hours a day making content. So no, I won't sub swap with people. And yes, if people put comments on my videos saying, hey, I subbed to your channel, will you sub to mine? Guess what? You get reported as spam, because that is spam. It's unwanted advertising. And YouTubers should not advertise to other YouTubers. They should just try their best, which is what I do, which no accounting for quality there, to make good content and get people who will actually come and watch your videos every single day. The way YouTube seems to be working these days seems to really focus around unsubscribing inactive accounts or accounts that are just bots. And so YouTube's algorithm seems to see if you have a lot of subs and people aren't watching it, that you've changed your channel and not done the thing that got people to subscribe in the first place, and they'll just stop suggesting videos. So it's a bad advertising. I don't know of a better way to advertise it. Human Fly says, oh snap secrets, says Human Fly. Hit him with the S word. We have a new person named Volagara. But I am a real person, Human Fly. I believe you are a real person. Even though, frankly, that's exactly what a bot would say too. They've programmed them to. That's not the issue. I'm saying I'm not a real person, in the sense that I'm a YouTuber who spends all their time making content for YouTube and very little to no time watching it. So getting me to subscribe to your channel does nothing for your channel, because I'm promising you right now, I'm telling you straight up, I won't watch your videos. and I will get bored of seeing your videos in my feed, and then I'll just unsubscribe. And there seems to be an unsubscribe bug that goes around on YouTube. When one person subscribes, you lose more than one subscriber. So I might actually hurt your channel by subscribing to it. In the same way, to flip it around, I don't want YouTube creators to subscribe to my channel if they're not going to watch my videos. I'd much rather lose 40 subscribers right now. I only have 140 subscribers. I'd rather be back below 100 if that told me that the 100 that stayed are actually watching my video. You'll see it on, like, even the biggest people. Go look at PewDiePie's subscriber count. He has like 50 million subscribers. Does he get 50 million views on his videos? No, he doesn't. He gets a lot on his videos, but it's maybe 1 million at best. So for every one person that watches his videos, there's 49 other people that don't. So let me look at the chat again. Human flies, I'm a real boy. Are you a human popsicle? True stories. YouTubers are not peoples. They are trolls. You're right. Some of them are. Maybe me included. I can't deny such sound logic as that. How come Acid Maul doesn't die here? I thought he would have. I thought he would have hit himself. I didn't recall that Acid Maul worked this way. Here we go. I'm about to win. But yeah, I would heavily recommend getting your friends, your family, and trying to promote yourself on Twitter, Facebook, and those other social media sites to promote your YouTube channel. Inner promoting through YouTube has been completely destroyed since they got rid of the ability to make reaction videos and link them to it. It used to work. People used to be able to make a reaction video to somebody else's video, and then YouTube would interconnect those, and that might get YouTubers to collaborate and such, but you can't do that anymore. So go out to the social medias, bring in people that will actually watch your videos. That's what you want. You want views. You don't need subscribers. If you're just going for subscribers, your channel's going to eventually just die on the vine. Well, that's going to be it for this recording. Stay tuned if you're watching live. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. It's kind of ironic that my wrap up there is asking people to subscribe and like, but I'm saying that if you actually like my videos and actually want to watch them. Be right back for the live stream.